and welcome to the fourth episode of Pixpro Labs Live Show. I am Sarah Watts, and I'm the CEO of Pixpro Labs, and I also am the host of the show. My mission with this show and with a lot of things that we do at Pixpro is to help Joomla businesses grow. And one important element is this live show. If you already are in the Joomla ecosystem and you want to tap into businesses and expertise and experience from others, this show is absolutely for you. And if you're thinking about starting offering Joomla services or products and joining the ecosystem of awesome businesses, this show is also for you. If you're a Joomla user, this is a great opportunity for you to get to know the people behind the Joomla businesses. And that's a really nice insight to have. In this weekly live show, I'm inviting people running businesses that provides Joomla extensions, services, templates, training, hosting, yeah, you name it. And I want to talk about business. I would like to talk about life and about Joomla. And since this is a live show, some questions in the live show will be coming from you. So start typing in your questions in the comments or just write hi to say that you're here. Give us feedback during the show. It is so easy on Facebook. Give us hearts, give us thumbs up, or give us angry emojis. Feedback in any form is all good. Please help us share this show with your friends. You can share it while we're live, or you can share the replay. So, without further ado, I will now bring in my guest for today at this episode. Let me introduce this episode's special guest, Dom Cassone from Zacaw Enterprises. Thank you for joining me in this episode of the show.
Oh, my pleasure, Sarah. I'm excited to do it.
That's awesome. We met through the Infusionsoft community, so I think some of the viewers will get to know more about what marketing automation is as well as a result of this show. And I really look forward to this conversation. So welcome again.
Thanks.
Let's start with you telling us a little bit more about you and introduce yourself.
Sure. Well, we have been in business about 23 years, and business has evolved and changed over that time. But we do a lot of Joomla services, a lot of Infusionsoft services, website hosting, marketing automation, marketing coaching and consulting, those sorts of things.
And where do you live in Boston area, right?
Yeah, central Massachusetts, about 45 minutes west of Boston.
Yeah. So your business, is it a business that you run by yourself, or do you have a team? How does it work?
Well, we have I have my wife Carrie. She works full time in the business with me.
Yeah, so he says to say hi to her.
And then we have contractors. We have a virtual assistant who works with us pretty much full time. Then we have a couple of developers. My best developer's in Greece, and he's just awesome. And I have a couple of others, and I have some other implementers for Infusionsoft implementation that we pull in when we need them. So we have a good sized team when we need them, but it's it kind of works for us that way to grow and shrink the team as the projects come and go.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people trying to use that flexibility a lot in their business, and I think that's a good opportunity for businesses to accommodate for businesses coming into the business and can accommodate their clients for their needs. So how did you find Joomla?
Well, that's an interesting story. We've been doing website design for a long time. And then we were doing just HTML using Dreamweaver and that sort of thing. And we said, we got to get a better system. So I did an analysis of the then most popular CMS or CMS-like systems. And so I decided that without a doubt, Joomla was the top in all of my categories. The WordPress was far too simplistic. Drupal was too complex for people to deal with if they weren't technical enough. And so Joomla was the sweet spot. It had lots of functionality, yet it was easy to use. So we started back with Joomla 1.5. So we've been doing Joomla since a while now.
Yeah, wow. So I was looking into your your business when we did a live video cast for the Infusionsoft partners and introducing Joomla to them and talking about what Joomla could do for them and why it's just not WordPress, because that community is so WordPress saturated that opportunities, like you said, a lot of clients comes in with a Joomla solution. They want to integrate Joomla with Infusionsoft, but that was there was nothing that could be done that way. And in the ecosystem of WordPress, there were so many add-ons to it that they could pick and choose from. So during our conversation, when we met at the first Icon, which is the user conference for Infusionsoft, I was sitting next to you, and I was brand new to that community. And I was looking for someone who knew Joomla. You said, "Oh, I'm kind of the only one here." And I was like, "Wow, we're 4,000 people here. I am sitting next to the guy who knows things." That was an awesome experience for me to just get into the community and get to know the Infusionsoft abilities with Joomla.
They are very. You're right. Infusionsoft community is very WordPress centric, and I keep needling them whenever I can. And I say, "What about Joomla? What about Joomla? What about Joomla?" But I still think after all these years that Joomla is a far superior platform than WordPress can ever be. As much as it's improved, WordPress has gotten better, but then so has Joomla. So, still think it's a better platform.
So you came up with an idea of actually creating then a plugin or an extension in Joomla that connects it to Infusionsoft. And before we talk about that product, could you please explain what Infusionsoft is for the viewers who had no idea? Sure.
Infusionsoft is a marketing automation platform. I think it's the premier one for small and medium businesses. There are others out there, but it kind of is the gold standard of marketing automation, and that is we can do behavioral-based marketing, and that's the key. It's not like Constant Contact or Aweber or those things. While they get any more capabilities, they're basically a email broadcast platform. Whereas Infusionsoft, you can do different things depending upon the reader or the recipient of the marketing. If they do one thing, you take them in a different path. If they do a different thing, you take them on another path. So it's very powerful in directing people's marketing and the information that they get based on their needs and based on what they've told you back by clicks or whatever. So it's a platform that can do all of that, and they can do it simply or it can be quite complex. But it allows you to build this whole marketing infrastructure for your business.
And it's a cloud-based solution.
Yes, it's a SaaS solution, and but in all the years we've used it, it's never not been available.
Yeah, but I'm thinking a lot of people within Joomla, they think open source, and they think that that's the things that we connect Joomla to. And this is then different in your extension, that you actually connect Joomla, which is open source, with SaaS solution. And can you tell me a little bit about how you came up with the idea of your extension?
Sure. Well, it's simple. It's simple is that we saw that, being WordPress centric over at Infusionsoft, there were these platforms that people had built that connected Infusionsoft to WordPress, some better, some really good, and some kind of mediocre. But I said, wait a minute, who's talking to Joomla? I mean, nobody can make Infusionsoft and Joomla talk. So I said, someone's got to do that if we're going to be playing this. If we're going to play in this arena of Infusionsoft, we need an integration for membership sites. So we built one.
And what is a membership site? What do you use it for?
Okay, so membership sites are just a site where you log into in order to see some additional information that the public doesn't see. It can be free, it can be paid, it can be whatever. And the thing about Joomla that's so cool, because of the user groups and the ACL, it's easy to make multiple levels for people who can see different things. And so they can be in Infusionsoft, and Infusionsoft can tell Joomla what things they're allowed to see when they log in. And based on whatever criteria you as the Infusionsoft owner wants to do with it.
So we've been using Joomfuse, which is your extension, with our Infusionsoft accounts for both my husband's companies and my company, which means that we have a learning program, which is dripped out. So people log into this Joomla solution, and they have a 8-week or 10-week education that drips off every single week to them. So it's open up new modules, you could say. And we do that by using Infusionsoft and using your system to connect it to Joomla. So every single time that they log in, they see the right things. And depending on their where they are in the process, they get different emails from Infusionsoft. So it's a really good combination for us for sales, marketing, and deliverability of the products.
Right.
And we use it also for our extensions today when we deliver extensions at Pixpro Labs.
Right. So a lot of people are doing it exactly like that, and some people just have fixed. You get a login and you get access to everything, and other people have levels, and other people are doing like you are, where they drip things out and they use Infusionsoft power to decide when the next module should be available, and until then they can't see it. And Infusionsoft clicks off and tells Joomla, okay, it's time for Sarah to see module 3, and next time she logs in, it's there. Yeah.
And I think that's also good that you can use the whole ACL system in Joomla by saying, okay, if you are in this user group, you will see this module. So you can do upsells, or you can ask questions in a forum or something, just to keep getting feedback from your users. So I really have enjoyed working with your system. In the sense of not being the one who's trying to, okay, here's a business opportunity, let's build this. I found you that you already built it, so I was very happy to find that.
Well,
saved us a lot of time, I can tell you, because that's what we wanted to do.
I have an interesting story that just popped up last week, and another Infusionsoft person asked me about Joomfuse, and I told him about it, and he said, well, my client's going to build. He's got a developer in the Philippines, and they're going to build their own. Okay, doesn't make any sense to me, but okay. Well, that was a week ago. Friday night, I get an email saying he's changed his mind. He decided not to build his own since it's already built.
Yeah.
If something's not built, build it, but why reinvent it?
So when it comes to your extension, there is one thing that strikes me out is that it's connected to a SaaS solution, which not a lot of extensions are today. You also have a different pricing points on your extension. You use something like a monthly fee or a yearly fee.
That's
Can
correct.
you talk about why did you come up with that idea?
Well, there's a couple of reasons. Infusionsoft is a paid platform, and so people who use Infusionsoft understand that they need to pay to help run their business as a tool, a set of tools to run their business. So it's nothing new for those people, for that audience. That's part one. Part two is there's a lot of development costs. And, we're a for-profit company, and so we need to recoup those costs. And the costs that we charge, the monthly fee, it takes a long time for each person's monthly fee to actually offset the development cost before there's any real profit there. So it's not about making a lot of money. We'd like to make some, but it's covering the costs and being able to continue development and clean out the bugs and, add the note when, Joomla 3.7 came out with the fields, custom fields.
Yep.
Well, we have already implemented that. We need to clean it a little, but for people who must have custom fields today, our product will now support that. So there's costs involved. I have to pay the developers. I got to think this through, and so that's the main reason we want to be able to give you the best product possible. And the way to do that, in our opinion, is that we have to be able to charge for it.
And I think that's totally fair. And you have a complexity too with having Infusionsoft on one hand having their development cycles, and then you have Joomla with their development cycles, and you are in between trying to meddle with both of them at the same time and making sure that everything works out all the time. So I think that's a complexity to those kind of extensions.
Right, and we're trying not to our goal is not to see how much money we can get for it. Our goal is You know, so we don't charge what we don't think is an exorbitant amount. We think it's a fair price for what the product does and for the ease of use that it gives you.
Yeah. So when it comes to marketing your product, you have a very concise target group. You have the Infusionsoft users that would like have a Joomla solution already that want to connect it, or you have the Infusionsoft users that don't have a website right now but would like to have a membership site and find you. How do you feel like do you have a good way of getting leads today?
Well, we use all the obvious tools. So we're in Infusionsoft's marketplace. We're in the Joomla extensions directory. So the Infusionsoft people can find us, and the Joomla people can find us if they're doing obviously the right searches. Additionally, you know, we're part of the Joomla community, so I wrote a series of articles for the Joomla community magazine for about a year, once a month for about a year, on membership sites and why they're good. And so those weren't sales pieces; they were certainly information-based pieces. But of course, my bio's at the bottom, and people once they're learning about membership sites, which is sort of a passion for me, if they want to find out more, I encourage them to contact me. So we did that. We do things like this where we want to pass out as much information, but of course, we mention the product. And we've done, as you mentioned, interviews with Infusionsoft. So, and we've done some Facebook ads. We kind of tried a little bit of everything to get the communities together.
I've seen you doing a lot of LinkedIn posts right now. That's very concise and very continuously opening up questions where you have a blog post that reacts to your thoughts. How is that working for you?
It actually that goes to LinkedIn. We do it with LinkedIn, with Twitter, and with Facebook, and they all go out. And you know, I was never a big Twitter guy, but I'm getting like all these followers on Twitter. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I keep getting all these little messages popping up saying, "Oh, you have a new follower on," you know. So, which means people are reading them, right? That's the good news. And you know, we have a blog, of course, and we have a biweekly newsletter, and one article in the newsletter is also the blog post. So we use those as marketing tools, and they're all, again, information-based. They're not sales pieces. They're how you should use social media in your business, why, how to hire somebody, what to do about how to do holiday promotions. I don't know. I'm trying to pull out some of the recent subjects. But so it's not about buy our stuff. It's about let's help the community get educated. And oh, by the way, here's who we are. Yeah. So those posts are working out great. I got people forwarding them. I got people liking them. So, you know, I can't do an ROI on it, but it's something we do anyway, whether we're going to get paid or not.
I think that the consistency is the key, usually when you do something like that. And I think that that's what you see when you get more and more people saying, "Hey, I wanted to know more about you. That's why I start following you so I don't miss anything." Right. So when it comes to your clients, when they use the extension part of your business, how is it hard for you to keep them, or is it like a certain turnover every year? Like how's that working for you? And what do you do to prevent that to happen?
Okay, so you mean just for our extension clients?
Yeah.
Okay, so like the rest of the world, our clients are a microcosm of everything. Some people just want to pay it, and they pay every month, and they just, you know, and they want to be sure that they're on the list so that they get all the newest stuff. Some people buy for 1 month because we don't, you know, you can cancel, and we don't, once you buy it, you own what you bought. So you install it in your Joomla and it's yours. So we have people who buy 1 month, upload the product, and then they quit. So they use that version. And then we have people who stay, about a couple people who, if they stay with Joomla and they stay with Infusionsoft, they mostly stay. Some people have had their head turned, and some other person told them, "Oh no, you have to have a WordPress site." And after they built this big Joomla membership site, somebody said, "Oh no, you have to have WordPress." So pay somebody else to build them a WordPress site, and then of course we'd lose those clients. But by and large, our numbers continue to slowly grow. But there's a lot of people like you, for example, have been with us close to the beginning.
So when it comes to your marketing, do you have affiliate systems as well?
Yes.
To help?
Yep, we do have affiliate system. We pay a 20% commission for anyone who wants to become an affiliate if they sell the product, and Infusionsoft tracks all that for us, so we know how much money we owe to which affiliates, and we can send them their money any way they want. So we love to have affiliates, because we only can get so far into in Joomla or Infusionsoft systems or community. So someone else coming in from different angles is very helpful.
And I think that's the key to have the referral system. If we talk about in Infusionsoft, we talk about customer journeys, and we talk about the perfect life cycle, and having the opportunity to having people saying, hey, this is a really good tool that I use. I like to refer it to my friends or my network and get rewarded towards that. So I think that affiliate systems for some really works well. For some, they choose not to. So that's why I want to bring it up, that you do use an affiliate system, because it's good to have some role models and how to use it and how to do it.
Well, we always recommend to our clients products that we're comfortable with, we've used, or know their reputation. So we don't, whether or not we use the affiliates or not, we don't recommend anything that we don't use. And sometimes we don't really care about the affiliate stuff. Mostly, it's not a large amount of money, but our reputation, to make sure it's a good product, is more important than the few dollars that you get.
Absolutely. And that's why I say, sometimes you use a product and you want to refer it to someone else. Right. I think that there is a lot of people that have been using affiliate systems before, that been kind of getting people that would like to spam them by writing blog posts or buying SEO, and it's not working out, because it's just bashing their brand instead of actually value your brand. So you have to have a good strategic way of using referral systems or affiliate systems.
Right. And you have to give value. If you're not giving value, people are going to shut you off right away, because if they're learning something, even if it's one little tiny thing, they'll keep listening. If you're just trying to beat them up to get your stuff, that's long ago stopped working.
Yeah, exactly. Totally. So when it comes to, you said that you have flexibility when it comes to your team, and you work with your wife. How is that working? Are you both the CEO of the company, or are you making the decisions by yourselves? Is it hard to leave your job when you have family dinner? Well,
we get those questions a lot. So first off, I'm the president of the company. I'm the only shareholder, so officially it's mine. Because at the time I started it, she was working as a nurse, so it was my company. She went to work at the hospital, and I did our company. And then, she decided we should work together, and we decided together we should work together. And she was tired of nursing anyway. So, basically we make all our decisions together mostly. I mean, not every little, should this be blue, or should it be this darker blue or this lighter blue? I mean, we don't do that kind of stuff. But as far as what should we do about a client, I got a couple of emails this morning that I'm going to bounce ideas off of her. But the key is exactly what you said, Sarah, and that is you have to have boundaries. Okay, so when work is over, and unless something important comes up, like, oh, I just thought of this, and we have to have it dealt with before first thing in the morning, we don't talk about work when we're done, when we leave the office. So just like, you vent a little. So when she was a nurse, she'd come back from the hospital and she'd tell me stories about things for a few minutes, and then it would be done, because there's not a lot of common ground. Now we sort of try to keep the same kind of thing. It's business time and personal time.
And that's a hard balance. And I still don't have that balance in my life with my family businesses.
Well, I'm not saying we're perfect at it. I mean, but we try, because it can consume you, as you well know.
Yeah.
Business, that's all you talk about. And it's like, wait a minute, all I just talked about is my business for like the last month. We talked about anything else. So you have to work at it, and you don't always succeed.
Very true. How is it when you plan your day when it comes to your, how do you deal with support for your extension? Is that something that you do like a certain time of the day, or is it just ongoing support during the day? How do you plan your day?
We try to plan the day well. However, we also realize that people who need support need support. So we usually, unless I'm doing something like this where it can't be interrupted, I will interrupt what my daily plans are to support people, to give the answer support. So we have a support ticketing system where people can put in the support questions. We have a forum on the website, and we have live chat. So we try to be as responsive as we can, answer both pre-sales and post-sales questions, but so far, it hasn't been so interruptive that I can't do other things and get my other work done.
And that's good, because as you said before, you need to have a good product and you have to have good support. Otherwise, people are not interested in staying with your extension. So what has been your biggest struggle so far when it comes to the extension?
I think the biggest struggle is to be honest and truthful. I didn't realize, at least here in the States, and I didn't realize which is my fault for not doing the research, the penetration of WordPress versus Joomla when we decided to build this extension. So our hardest job is, first off, Joomla education for people, because they all heard about, even the non-technical people, they've heard about WordPress, but many have not heard about Joomla. And to try to get a deeper, more broad penetration of the Joomla platform into the United States, both whether it's Infusionsoft based or not. I mean, we don't do WordPress here. Okay, so if somebody outside of Infusionsoft, somebody wanted to hire us to build a website for them, marketing type website, the answer would be it's in Joomla. And so we have to do this sometimes, the education process. So I didn't realize, again, that was the biggest difficulty. Did not realize how small the penetration of Joomla was here in the States when we started this.
So when it comes to the internationalization now of Infusionsoft, where they go abroad, you will find a higher penetration in other countries, perhaps of Joomla and Infusionsoft combinations.
Well, that's what we're hoping for. I mean, we're hoping to we want to convert all the WordPress people to Joomla and have them all convert all of the marketing automation people to Infusionsoft, and then everybody's going to win.
And they will have awesome membership sites, right?
That's right.
Yeah. So what has been your biggest win so far?
Well, I think my two biggest wins, I thought about this, and my two biggest wins in our recent, probably the last half of our company's life, have been finding Infusionsoft, which we found when about a dozen years ago now, with Clayton Mask up on stage at an event, who's the president of Infusionsoft, who back when it was a much, much smaller company, he would be on the road doing presentations. He doesn't do that anymore. He's got way more things to do at the company. But anyway, so he was up on stage doing a presentation, and at the time I had a partner in another business, and I said to him, we need this product if we're going to really build this business out. And so we bought it. And so that was probably the biggest win for the company, is that we found Infusionsoft. And then we built, we no longer with that partner, we've split up and gone our own ways, but we've continued to use Infusionsoft in our business and to help other businesses implement their Infusionsoft in their marketing automation. So that was probably the company biggest win. And the second biggest win, of course, would be having done that research and decided and based our web business on Joomla. I would say that's kind of the second biggest win, because none of this would have happened without both of those things.
Very true. So you, like you said before, you don't build any other kind of websites except for Joomla. So you have a service business like an agency too. So you don't just have the extensions. You still continue helping your clients with digital marketing needs. How is that? Can you share something about the business model you have? Do you have like project-based pricing or retainers, or how does it work?
Okay, sure. Well, we have a number of products that are, are monthly-based products for services. We have a mentoring program where you get a little of our time every week, and then you go off and do your own implementation, and you come the next week and help you out. And then we have people who we have on retainer to maintain their whole environment, their whole marketing environment. So we would maintain their website, make the changes there, make their changes in their Infusionsoft, make sure the marketing programs are running well and all that stuff. So they'll pay us a retainer every month to do that. And those retainers vary by how much work there is to do. And then we have, I don't know if I mentioned it, but we have a hosting business where we host Joomla and other websites on a very secure server for people who want a little more security. And then we do a lot of project work where somebody comes to us and says, I want to solve this problem. That's the best way to solve it. So we will work with them and build a solution for them. First, we'll build a specification about what we're going to build, and then we'll go and build it. And that's all on a retainer basis. So they pay us as we're going along to build a solution. So a lot of custom stuff, a lot of canned stuff. So we kind of have an even mix. And then we have the product sides where there's Joomfuse and the hosting, which are sort of, once people get going, they're pretty much on their own until they have a question or something breaks.
So when it comes to the people coming to you saying, hey, I have a marketing problem, what is the best way of solving it? And you will present Joomla. How do you sell Joomla then? How do you present that Joomla is the best option for them, if that's what you think? Well,
if they need a membership site, then it becomes easier. Right? So we have a product that we built and we know very well, and it works great with Joomla, so that kind of moves the process along fairly well. Otherwise, we say that, we tell them that, Joomla is a superior platform. I know everybody's heard of WordPress, but you're going to, and I'm not bashing WordPress because, it obviously works well because there's millions and millions and millions of websites on WordPress. But what I tell them is that most of these websites need a lot of help with plugins and whatever to make it function of what Joomla has out of the box. So when you download it and install it, so you're going to get a lot of functionality built in, supported by OSM and the development team, that you don't need to worry about third-party people. Not that you don't need third-party people for Joomla. I'm not suggesting that, because we're a third-party person for Joomla. But what I'm saying is that the product is more robust, and that's kind of how we try to sell it to people.
Yeah. So that sounds like a really good approach of telling them, here's the value, what we're going to bring. We're going to use this platform because of having less maintained with less extensions and so forth, like your comparison. When it comes to like other kind of businesses advice that you can give and share to our viewers about how you said, like, you do a tech spec first to make sure that you have an understanding of the problem. Do you have any like good advice on tools to project manage your projects?
Well, we use Asana for all our project management. There's a lot of tools out there that whoever, if you ask a dozen people, you'll get 8 or 10 different. This is Basecamp's the best one, or this one's the best one, or Asana's the best one. Asana just kind of worked for us, and it's and we have different projects with different team members on it. So some people see these projects and some people see those. So that's what we do. But what's important is a tool is a tool. Hammer versus this kind of hammer versus that kind of hammer. What's important, however, is that you do have a specification if you're doing any kind of custom work, because customers don't realize that they changed their mind, or their thinking expands as things start to come to fruition. If they start to see the project come alive, then they go, oh, that's really cool. And we could do this, and we could do that, and then we could do this other thing. So if you don't have it set of what you're going to do and what you're not going to do, the project's going to keep growing, and you're going to have a hard time keeping a cap on it. But to me, that's very important, so that everybody's clear. This is what you asked for. Is this what you asked for? Yes. So this is what we're going to build, right? Yes. Okay, so we're going to go off and build it in this time frame. So there's no ambiguity. That's, I guess, probably the better way to put it.
Yeah, and I think that everybody that service people will say the same thing. Like when you start building a house, they see things come to life. And that's when they say, oh, maybe we can have a balcony there. Or maybe, can we have a basement now? It's like, no, it's too late. We already have the foundation. It's like, oh, really? Okay. I never thought about that opportunity, but now I can see it because it's coming to life. So it's hard for you or it's hard for me as well as a service provider to say, yeah, but we need to stop here because here's where we have the cap. And if you want to have add-ons or changes, this is the change requirements. And here's the extra time and money that you need to spend on this to make that happen. Right. So it's a back and forth communication. Like you said, Asana is a good tool then to have that conversation to make sure that everybody's on track, and you can have a wish list in the end that like these are things that we would like to do, but we haven't inside the scope of this project. It's not.
The house analogy is perfect because you probably see the same thing. Somebody comes to you and says, essentially in marketing or technology or whatever, build me a house. Okay, how big? What style? On what kind of land? In what environment? You know, how many stories? I mean, they come to you and say, I need you to build me a house. And then you have to start picking at their brain and getting stuff out of it and then write it all down and send it back to them. Is this the kind of house you wanted? Oh, yeah.
And that kind of process is something that we call discovery at Pixpro. And we do some kind of a blueprint, which is sometimes screenshots or like layouts, or it could be functionality specification, what's going to happen, what is going to be integrated into the system. We pay, our clients need to pay for that session for us. How is it for you?
Absolutely. It can take, well, there's two problems, right? First, it can take a lot of time. Like you said, we have to pick their brain long enough to really understand what they're asking, and then be able to write it down. And then there may be diagrams or charts or whatever to illustrate it visually. So it can take hours to do that. And frankly, when you give it to them, they're not bound to hire you to do it. So, and it's not about people being underhanded. It's about that it's just business. So they're not bound to you to do it. So you could spend all these hours, and they could say thank you very much and give it to another vendor.
And that's why I think it's important. Like we are on the same on the same page, because I think that we as developers or as agencies, sometimes we are so focused on delivering the end in mind, which is the website, for example, in Joomla. But we forget that the value that we bring to our clients is not a good-looking, converting, selling website. It's actually getting to the process of getting it. And the process starts with a conversation. And the process starts with you asking the right questions, the questions that they haven't asked themselves. That comes with experience that you have since you built so many, and you've seen all the pitfalls, where the gray zones are, where the white waters are, that you can see, hey, here's where we need to figure things out, because otherwise it's going to be sideways half through the project. We cannot just start building the house or the website without having these kind of elements in place first. So I think that and that's a message I think is important for us to share, saying, hey, you should get paid for this, because that's the most important value you bring. Anyone can build a website in the end if they have this information at hand.
But that's exactly right. That's right. So, and the experience is the thing. You've done it for so long that's worth something. You know, when you need your knee replaced, you don't want the guy or the knee operated on. You don't want the guy who just got out of medical school. You want the guy that's been through all of the residencies and fellowships and whatever else, and now is an orthopedic knee specialist. So it's the same thing.
But I think that sometimes we think about websites as being like a commodity, and it's not a commodity. It's something that you have to think of, plan correctly, execute, and then create, and then get value and optimize, and then take care of it by adding more content and more value and update it and having all the security. But I think that when I say anyone can build a website, anyone can build a website today. But the result of the website is not going to be the result that the company or the client is looking for until they ask the questions that you and I and all the other people that have been doing this for a long time have.
Yeah, exactly. And you're right. I mean, with the tools, with Joomla and with WordPress and the other tools that are out there, making a web presence is not what it used to be. It's not as hard. Doing it well is as hard, if not harder, than it used to be, because you can put the site up, but does it draw the people in? Does it draw the audience in? Does it get people to take the actions you want them to take? That's where the skill comes in. Yeah.
So when it comes to this marketplace, like you said, it's been more and more advanced in the tools that we have available for us. It's more and more competition out there. Like you said, there is like millions and millions of websites coming into the marketplace every single day, and our view, like the visitors to our clients' websites, they see so many, and they need to figure out what kind of decision are they going to do. Do you feel like where is this going to go? Do you think that it's going to be simplified, or do you think that it's still going to be keeping us on the toes, and we need to actually really like educate ourselves and be present in our marketplace to be really good advisors?
Well, I think that it's going to grow. I mean, I don't see any stop to it. You know, however many, 5 years ago, whatever it was, there was no Facebook, or at least it wasn't like it is today. There was, you know, the amount of emails that you get, I don't know, tenfold is an order of magnitude more emails than you got 5 years ago, most of which you don't care about. And everybody's got all these filters on to get rid of the junk ones. And so you're right, there's more and more and more and more stuff. There's more and more avenues for getting in. There's Facebook, and there's LinkedIn, and then there's Twitter, and there's Instagram, and there's another one coming out tomorrow that's going to be another way to get in. So what's important, and I'm back to what I said before, it's important is to be in front of your prospects, leads, people who may be interested in what you have, and to give them value. So blogging, content marketing, your website needs to give them something that's of value when they go there. So I go there and I find out, we have a thing on our website that's the 6 ways to increase the revenue of your membership site. You go there, you give us your email, and we'll give you that document. So we give you something. We don't say, hey, you have to buy Joomfuse. We say, let me help you get some more revenue out of your revenue-based membership site. That's how we start. So it's giving to them, it's exposing yourself on these social platforms, it's exposing yourself with content marketing, and being a person of service that wants to give out to the world and to your clients.
And I think that's just my thoughts are, we still need to present all this information. It's just not, maybe it's not going to be Facebook. Maybe that's something else is going to be coming into the marketplace that we don't know about. Like 10 years ago, we didn't have smartphones the way we have today. So there will be a place for people that continuously are on the toes, reading everything that they can read and educate themselves. So it's not just the tech part of the business, it's also the communication part of the business when it comes to delivering a website that is important.
Yeah, exactly. So, like you said, everybody can. I can put, my 12-year-old niece can put together a website, but that doesn't mean has any real value to the marketplace.
So that's very true. I totally agree with that. So when it comes to like volunteering to the Joomla community, you said that you have been volunteering by writing Joomla magazine articles for a year for telling people how to build a website when it comes to membership sites. Have you done anything else?
Sure. I'm reasonably active in the Joomla Facebook group. I answer questions that I know the answers to.
Yeah.
So those are the two big things that we're doing right now. We'd like to do more in the future, but that's kind of where we're at right now.
So would you be interested in being invited to speak at an event or a user group, like on a Skype call, to talk about how membership sites can be done? Like, are you open for those kind of opportunities too, to share your knowledge, volunteers?
Yeah, sure. I can't tell everybody else to give lots of value and stuff and then say that I don't do it. So, of course, I would be happy to do that. And, we've done it before. You and I did it for Infusionsoft people, and I've done, several. And so, absolutely. That's something that's easy for me because it's something that I know that, I know about already. So I'm happy to do that. And I'm looking for other ways. But right now, I don't feel that I would give a committee or something the right amount of time necessary.
Well, you don't always have to commit for a longer time of volunteerism. It could be, like you say, it's easiest to respond to a question in a forum or in a blog post, a comment, and give feedback to someone who's done something good that you want to share as well, or repost or retweet something that's on social media, and that's also a part of volunteering to Joomla. So. Oh yeah, absolutely, and
you make a good point. I don't think about that as much. I just do it, and so.
Yeah.
Whenever I can, if I know the answer, I answer it, whether it's on a forum or the Facebook group or whatever. So it's just sort of, because I get them all in my email and somebody says, how do you do X? And I go, oh yeah, I know how to do that. And I answer them.
So we're coming to the end of our show. Is there anything that you would like to add to our conversation, that you think that this is something that I need to share, that you thought of having this opportunity?
I guess what I would say is, generally from a Joomla perspective, do whatever you can to promote the platform. As you know, it's not an easy job to keep Joomla up and running for OSM and all of the developers and everything to work, and they work hard and do a good job, and they've built a nice platform that's only getting better. So keep the platform going. From a Joomla perspective, from a business perspective or a personal perspective, I would say what sort of has been an undercurrent theme, and that's to add value wherever you can. Be of service to your community, and however you define it, your business community, your Joomla community, your physical community where you live. Just do something and don't be a taker all the time. Be a giver. And I don't mean that it sounds a little funny, but you have to. That's just how makes the world better and makes everybody else achieve a little more if they can learn from somebody who's already done it.
So true. And I also would like to add our conversation that we had with you, finding you wanted to connect Joomla to a SaaS solution, and there was nothing that could be done at the moment. So you start building one to offer to the market. And that's not uncommon that you have your own need and then you build something and then you offer it to the marketplace. But what you've done is something that not a lot of people have done, which is having a third-party extension that you have, but it's also connected to a SaaS solution. So you can see it for Facebook Connect or Facebook Comments or logging for maybe LinkedIn or something. But there is not that many in the marketplace and in the extension directory that has gone your way. So I think there is a lot of potential for someone who that has development skills, that has API skills, that knows a need to connect Joomla with others, because I don't think that a website anymore is going to be a solo thing. I think it's going to be something that's connected to everything. And that's what Joomla 4 is going to be all about, but Joomla 3 is going to be out here for a long time. So I think that there is a market need if you just see it. So I just want to point that out.
No, and I agree 100%. And I think that people need to feel okay about developers, Joomla extension developers, need to feel okay about getting reimbursed for their efforts. Especially when it's complex, like you said, integrating two separate, distinct products together and I think there's more value in more people doing it for other platforms, and we may add other platforms in the future. But you should feel that Joomla is open source, but that doesn't mean you can't get reimbursed for at least the work that you've done. A lot of the biggest names in extensions in Joomla, their best products are paid for products.
And I think that's also what, if you are paid, you can have a support staff, you can have a documentation staff, you can have people helping and serve the customers much more than if you have a free solution. So.
Yeah, absolutely, because you can use some of the revenue to improve the product and to provide better support. Because it's nothing worse, anyone who builds anything, there's nothing worse than getting something free or paid and then can't figure out how to use it and can't find anybody who can tell you how to use what you just got.
Yeah, very true. And I think that that's something that's important. I think that I say it in a lot of speeches I've done. I know that a lot of other people have said that if you find a extension that you like and there's a free version and a pro version, go and pay for the pro version. It's not a lot of money for you, but for that person that gets them the opportunity to live on creating extensions and maintaining extensions and make sure that you have a good support. You don't have to change your extension 2 years later because you know that they're going to still be there because you have helped them to be profitable and sustainable.
Oh, and write a review.
Yeah.
Their review, you need to, good, bad, or indifferent, when you go to an extension list, find me all the extensions that solve problem X. You are drawn to the one with the most reviews. It may not be the best one, or maybe, but you draw to the one with the most reviews and you look at that one first. You may not pick it, you may look at the others. So reviews are important and feedback is also important. So we get a lot of feedback from our clients that say, wouldn't it be nice if? A lot of those wouldn't it be nice ifs are now inside the product.
Yeah, it becomes still parts of your roadmap.
Right.
Yeah.
So reviews are important. Paying the pro version, because like you said, none of them are very expensive.
Very true.
So yeah, I agree with that.
Okay, so if someone wants to get in touch with you after the show and talk more about like membership sites or Joomfuse or Infusionsoft, how do they get in touch with you?
Okay, so joomfuse.com is our website. That's JOOMFUSE.com. There's a contact us page there. There's also the chat there. If you want to send me an email, you can send it to support@joomfuse.com. That goes right into our support ticketing system, and so it'll all be managed by that system, and we'll get right back to you.
That's great. Anything else? No, that's good.
I'm thinking no. I'm looking at my notes because I took some notes before we started quickly while we have another minute or so. And you know what? I think we covered a lot of material here. We covered most of what's on my list, and I'm happy to answer any of the future questions as they come across. Just email me, and I'll be glad to get back to them on any topic, not necessarily about Joomfuse, about membership sites, about marketing.
Running an agency, it would be nice too if you have questions about how to price your agency or how your workflow works or anything else. And use the comments in this video and give like a shout out to Dom, and he will see that there's a comment and he will go in and respond to it. Right,
exactly. So exactly. That's yet another way.
Yeah. Okay, so I am so thrilled that we had this opportunity to talk during this live show. You've been truly insightful in your conversation. There's so many good nuggets in here that I think that I need to go back and listen to some of the things that we talked about to also not jot down and think about how I can use that in my business. So thank you so much.
Oh, you're more than welcome, and I thank you for inviting me on, because it's a lot of fun, and I hope, like you said, there's a little value there for people who listen to it.
Yeah. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, and have a great rest of your day.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so that was our conversation. Dom and I had a really good time, I think, with zooming into an interesting way of him running a business, finding out a problem that he couldn't solve himself, finding out how to solve that problem, and finding the right people to help him create Joomfuse. At the same time, running his own business and as an agency, helping other people to communicate their message and get value from their membership sites and also websites, along with attracting people with the right marketing. If there is anyone that would like to see past episodes of the show, this is the 4th version we've done. There is a link in the description, so you can click on the link and you get to all the replays. And you can also sign up for getting the notifications ahead of time when we do this weekly live shows. And the more we spread the word about this show, the more the merrier. So please share if you like this episode. Thanks for watching this episode of Pixpro Labs Live Show. See you next time. Bye.